Is everyone ready? Yes, okay. Good morning. I am Lieutenant Danielle Gately with the Public Information Office. Thank you all for joining us today. We are here to provide updates on the two tragic incidents that occurred on Easter Sunday, April 9th. This morning you will hear from Police Chief Eric Smith, Homicide Detective Patrick Cavanaugh, and that's C-A-V-A-N-A-U-G-H, Homicide Detective Maxwell Persons, that's P-E-R-S-O-N-S, and Homicide Sergeant Pete Cadiz, C-A-D-I-Z. Detective Cavanaugh will provide an update on the Poppy Park homicide, and Detective Persons will provide an update on the Grand Street homicide. We will also show you body-worn camera footage from the officer-involved shooting on Grand Street. We will not be able to provide any comments in reference to this, as this is still being investigated by FDLE. I will now turn it over to Chief Eric Smith.
Good morning. I'm here today to update you on two Easter shootings that we had in two of our communities. Our Paramore community and our Carver Shores neighborhoods were both victims of tragedy. Two innocent children and a grandmother were senselessly killed on Grand Street for no legitimate reason. And our second shooting in Carver Shores, members of our community were sitting on their porch enjoying an Easter afternoon when they were caught in gunfire. Another shooting that did not have to happen. I want to thank every officer that responded to both tragic incidents and to the detectives who have been working nonstop to investigate these cases. Today, our detectives will provide you updates on each case. We will also release the body-worn camera video of the Grand Street officer-involved shooting. Our officers responded to a domestic call and were shot at by the suspect. Fortunately, none of our officers were injured. This case is being investigated by FDLE, and as you know, I'm unable to answer any questions specific to the officer-involved shooting. I will now turn it over to Detective Patrick Cavanaugh, who will provide you an update on the Poppy Park homicide.
Good morning, Detective Patrick Cavanaugh. On Sunday, April 9th, there was a large gathering in Poppy Park, which is in the Carver Shores neighborhood. Due to the event, traffic was stopped on Lescott Lane. While stopped in traffic, an adult driver of a purple Lamborghini got into a verbal altercation with a teenage pedestrian, which led to an exchange of gunfire. The teenager, Tristan Morgan, was located in Poppy Park with a gunshot wound, and he later succumbed to his injuries. The driver of the Lamborghini, Jamal Watson, was transported to the hospital, and he also succumbed to his injuries. On the north side of Lescott Lane, 3 innocent females were struck by gunfire. One of the victims, Patricia Detterville, succumbed to her injuries at a local hospital. There is still one victim who is in stable condition, and the other was discharged from the hospital later that evening. This is still an active investigation. We're asking the public if they have any information, photos, or videos to please contact the Orlando Police Department. You can also report a tip anonymously to Crime Line at 1-800-423-TIPS. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here. I'm Detective Maxwell Persons, Orlando Police Homicide. I'm going to be talking to you about the Grand Street homicide incident. On 4/9/2023, Easter morning, a caller to 911 who was identified as the suspect's girlfriend was out for the evening with friends when a verbal altercation occurred over the phone between her and her live-in boyfriend, Lacorvis Daley. Lacorvis was stating that the witness did not return home. He was going to harm or hurt her mother. She then received a text message from her mother, 69-year-old Carol Fulmore, at 2:18 a.m. stating, "Help, he's shooting a gun, call police." Carol was home with the suspect, Lacorvis, his 7-year-old son Cameron Bowie, and the girlfriend's 13-year-old daughter, Damiona Reed. At approximately 2:21 a.m., Orlando Police Communications received a 911 phone call from the girlfriend requesting police. Officers received the call and responded to the residence within minutes. Once they arrived, officers heard shots being fired. Daley, who was armed with a handgun, had exited the residence and was confronted by responding officers. The officers exchanged gunfire with Daley, who was fatally injured during the exchange. Officers secured the exterior of the residence and made entry inside. 3 victims with gunshot wounds were located. The 69-year-old and the 13-year-old were confirmed deceased on scene. The 7-year-old child was immediately removed from the residence and rushed to a local hospital by 2 officers. The officers acted quickly, and due to the danger presented at the scene, decided to drive the child victim to ORMC themselves. Aid was rendered to the child, and he was pronounced deceased at the hospital by medical personnel. A rifle, a stolen semi-automatic handgun, ammunition, and magazines were located in Daley's bedroom, spread out on his bed. Witnesses were interviewed who stated that Daley's been recently acting erratically and had become paranoid, stating that people were conspiring to get him. Daley's a 4-time convicted felon and had been previously arrested for domestic violence against the mother of Cameron in 2016, as well as multiple other charges to include a conviction for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon in 2010, which resulted in a 3-year prison sentence at Sumter Corrections Institution. Daley's son Cameron was in the custody during the weekdays with Daley and would typically return home to his mother on holidays and weekends. We want to remind our community of free resources out there to help you or someone you know that is involved in a domestic violence situation. Harbor House of Central Florida can be reached at 407-886-2856. Thank you.
All right, you are now going to see the body-worn camera video from the officer-involved shooting.
Right here. Hold on.
Oh shit.
Hey, hold on. Let's get it right. Hold on. Hey, headquarters, we're 97. It sounds like we got a gunshot going off. Hang on. Okay, do I got more units coming?
We're rolling up it.
Okay. When I get a few more units, we're gonna approach the house. Let's get a couple units on the other side of the street, backside.
3 Avondale and Grand. Watch crossfire. LT here.
Right here. Hey! Hands! Let me see it!
He's in the ground.
One down! Hey! Okay, hold traffic! Okay?
Don't move! Do not move! Don't move! Do not move! Don't move, brother! Do not move!
Hey, hold, guys, come up with me. Come up.
Hey!
Okay, hold on. I'm securing the gun.
Watch go.
Okay?
This is the house. I'm going in the house.
I gotta go in the house.
Gun in the house. Where?
No, I said watch. I don't know if there's another.
Okay,
suspect.
hold here.
Suspect.
Threat here. Listen to me. Listen, we need to secure him.
Headquarters 43. Here, hey, move.
We have shots fired. Suspect is down.
Get back in! Hey, help me move up.
Yep.
We gotta provide
I need
medical.
one to secure him. We need to
I got
put
it.
medical on this guy.
I'm holding it behind you.
Okay.
I'm holding it. Where's the gun?
I got him.
The gun's secure.
We got gun secure. I'm holding the house. Provide medical.
Go up here. Move here. Okay, come on up. Move here.
You got units coming to your head. Keep talking to us. What do you need? You got gloves?
Yeah, 10-4. We're getting one secure now. He was shooting at us. We got the house unlocked. Units on the rear of the house. Watch your crossfire.
Yeah, hey. Hey, I'm securing the door.
Headquarters, I need OFD.
All right, you're now going to see a couple photos. Here is a picture of the officer's patrol car that was shot at by the suspect. And here it is from another angle. And here is a picture of the gun the suspect used to shoot at officers. We're now going to take a few questions on the 2 homicide investigations. Chief Smith and Sergeant Cadiz will answer your questions, but just a reminder that we cannot comment on the officer-involved shooting investigation.
So on the Poppy Park situation, if I understand correctly, the the 16-year-old who died and the man in the Lamborghini, they were firing at each other. Is that correct?
The 17-year-old, yes, sir. They were firing at each other. We believe there is a third shooter involved as well. That individual has been accounted for, and he is cooperating with the investigation at this time.
But not facing charges?
At this, we were conferring with the state attorney's office, and that determination will be made by them.
And that teenager was in the park?
He was walking past the park with a separate group of friends. They approached the driver's side of the Lamborghini, quick verbal exchange, and then shots erupted at that point.
Do you know what fired first?
I'm sorry?
What the argument was about?
We have some leads that we're pursuing at this stage that we suspect, but there's still a number of interviews that need to be conducted.
So since you weren't searching for anyone, it seems like perhaps your shooter is one of the victims who died.
We believe so, yes, sir.
So do you know which one of them fired first?
From what we can tell, it's simultaneous. So the words, basically we can tell that the individuals are drawing their weapons simultaneous and rounds are going off at the same time.
And my understanding is there was an Easter event going on there beforehand or even during. Can you talk about that and whether or not Orlando police were there as, not security, but there to monitor the situation?
So the event that happened in Poppy Park was a non-permanent event. We found out that it was circulated on TikTok. So we were at a number of parks. So we were at Hankins Park, we were at Lorna Doone Park, we were at Lake Eel, and a number of other parks that are permanent events. And then, of course, our officers are present there, and we also have permits for a number of neighborhood events, and we do extra patrol at those events. We had no knowledge that this event was happening. It appeared that a couple hours before it started, they circulated on TikTok, and the event just sort of came about. That's one thing I want to say to our community is if you're going to have events like that, we have a permit system, but also just let us know. Just contact the Orlando Police Department. Some things we want to take part in. If it's an actual Easter egg hunt, we'll actually be there and take part in it, but also provide security. It just helps us to have officers there. I mean, we had 7 or 8 different events we had officers at throughout our community, and just to have officers there, whether they're taking part or as security, it just helps keep everybody safe.
You said it was 3 innocent victims who were shot at the Poppy Park incident. I know the 2 women, Patricia, Pizza VR, and another woman. Who was the third person? Was that one of the shooters also?
Yeah, so both shooters, the individual inside the Lamborghini and the person that was standing outside the Lamborghini, are both firing their weapons. Both were shot and killed. The individuals across the street from the park was a family celebrating Easter, not associated at all with the events inside of Poppy Park. And yes, 2 individuals of that family were shot. One of them is deceased.
Who was your third shooter?
The shooter, it's ongoing. So that's an individual that, like I said, he is cooperating with us. We do have the firearm used in that, and conferring with the state attorney.
Do the shooters know each other? Is this gang related by any chance?
There's no indication that there's a gang affiliation at this point. Again, this is the early stages of the investigation, but from what we can tell, they recognized each other and approached each other for a reason.
That 16-year-old OCPS, and you probably can answer this question, they said that he wasn't at OCPS school. Was he here visiting, or who's the 16-year-old?
As far as we know, he is, and he's 17 years old. He is residing in the area, yes.
But he wasn't in school?
Correct.
What about the fact this happened at an Easter celebration? I mean, there was kids there, families there. Your thoughts on that?
It's tough to say. It's not the first time we've had a family get-together at Poppy Park. So unfortunately, families, anytime there's going to be a congregation of people, you're going to have some that are there for good purposes and some for nefarious purposes. And unfortunately, this group arrived there with ill intentions.
So these individuals who were shooting at you, were they actually attending the event or just so happened to be near the event when shots were fired?
It's too early to say, but if I had to guess, these are not kids with families and, people there to have a good time.
I did have a question about, but you can't offer.
We're going to take 2 more questions.
I was going to say, I know you can't answer the officer-involved shooting investigation, but when this guy who was shot dead by officers, was he having an erratic episode when this happened?
That's early stage of the investigation, so we just can't comment on that.
Just trying to get his mental state.
And we are as well.
And just a point of clarity, is he 16 or 17? Because the birthday we have is 9/20/06.
Yeah, Tristan is 17.
Okay.
We'll clarify that after. We'll make sure we
When
get
we're
your idea.
gonna see results, the first results, again, after the financial strategy of the plan and security.
And I'm sorry.
When we're gonna see the first results after the financial strategy. I'm talking about the plan of security plan.
The security plan, that's another discussion. As far as the investigation that we're conducting right now, there's a number of, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, we met with the, you're talking about the Orange County, Mayor Deming's plan that they're working on, is that what you're talking about?
I was talking with him, I'm writing, and I was asking him about the plan. What is this other scene? And you are of the team of the plan. For this reason I'm here.
I get the question. Okay, so basically, the plan of the Orlando Police Department has been for the most part, has been working. Shootings with victim are down 45% this week, even with the tragedy we just had. So we, at the police department, we can't stop every shooting. I can't stop somebody from having a domestic violence incident and then going in there and unfortunately, killing their loved ones and then coming out shooting at us with the police. I can't stop that. I can't stop somebody seeing somebody they don't like and getting in an argument with them and then they pull a gun out of their pants and shoot him. We are trying to reduce crime. We're fighting here to reduce crime. We've taken over 700 crime guns off the street. These officers here are dedicated. They're working very hard to keep our community safe. And they're not going to stop working hard to keep our community safe no matter what happens. But unfortunately, we can't stop every crime, but we're going to do our best to try. All right. Thank you.